When people discover Apple Intelligence is using 8, 10, sometimes even 15 gigabytes of storage, the reaction is usually the same. How do I get rid of it? After digging into it, I think that's actually the wrong question. Real quick, let's state what Apple Intelligence and Siri AI actually are. So Apple Intelligence are features that use machine learning and some artificial intelligence models to offer some smart features in iOS and macOS, like writing tools and photo cleanup. So what is Siri AI? So think of Siri AI as part of Apple Intelligence. With the debut of iOS and macOS 27, Siri AI has become a central component to our computing experiences, and it uses artificial intelligence models that can securely access information from apps like Notes, Messages, Mail, Calendar, when needed to answer your questions. I'm really only scratching the surface here, but it gives you an idea of what these things are. So where do you find how much storage Apple Intelligence is actually taking? In iOS, go to General, iPhone Storage, iOS, and you can see the breakout there. On macOS, go to Settings, General, Storage, macOS, tap the I icon, and that will show you how much space is being taken up by Apple Intelligence. So how is Apple Intelligence enabled? Well, initially you had to opt in manually. Later, Apple automatically enabled Apple Intelligence when you updated some OS versions. And yeah, there was a few upset people when that happened. Did this happen to you? Let us know in the comments. Apple Intelligence should no longer be enabled by default, unless it was enabled before you upgraded, of course. Okay, so let's investigate. Can Apple Intelligence be removed? So if you no longer want it, this will disable the features. In iOS and macOS, go to Settings, Siri, or Apple Intelligence N series, depending upon your operating system. Then turn off Siri, or a toggle off feature should be available on that screen. Now before you rush to turn off Apple Intelligence, in a moment I'm going to compare the storage Apple Intelligence uses against things that are probably using far more storage on your devices. But perhaps you actually disabled it already and wondered shortly thereafter, why didn't I regain any storage? Disabling the features does not immediately free up storage. Some of these resources power writing tools, visual intelligence, photos cleanup, and you might want to continue using those. Apple treats these AI models as part of the operating system and not an app that you can just simply uninstall. The operating systems will manage these resources on their own schedules. Over time, you may see storage space free up, but you might not. Currently, there is no supported way to remove these AI models. And you might say, but that's not fair. Well, I have to agree, especially if the feature was automatically enabled without you purposely opting in. If you feel strongly, visit the Apple feedback page and make your voice heard. There's a link down in the description. Hey, if you're finding value in this video, go ahead and click the like button. And if you like videos like this one, go ahead and click subscribe. Okay, so now let's put things in perspective. Is 7 to 15 gigabytes of storage actually worth worrying about? Let's compare. You've got, say, 35 gigabytes of photos. You have 22 gigabytes in your messages. You have 18 gigabytes of videos, 9 gigabytes of podcasts, and 14 gigabytes of downloaded Netflix movies. Therefore, Apple Intelligence is nowhere near the biggest storage consumer on your device. So, which gives you more value? 35 gigabytes of photos or 9 gigabytes of Apple Intelligence? So here's my take. My Apple Intelligence storage use on my iPhone is about 9 gigabytes. On my MacBook Air, it's about 11.5 gigabytes. And my Mac Studio, it's about 14.5 gigabytes. And here's what you actually get for that storage. Siri AI has actually impressed me. I've been testing iOS 27 beta, and my iPhone is providing me high quality responses to even vague requests. For example, I track a lot of information about my vehicles in Apple Notes. While shopping the other day, I asked Siri, what sizes are my truck's wiper blades? That's all I asked. In 5 seconds, it found my note for my truck and actually told me the 2 blade sizes. Also, I asked Siri, when did my cousin move to her new home? Siri found the information in a text conversation with my uncle. So, yes, other AI services have been able to do this for a while, but I like it on my iPhone. Better late than never. So, for the service and features I've gained from Apple Intelligence and Siri AI, I'm personally okay with the storage it takes. My advice is to not just simply react to the storage numbers, but put it in perspective. What can you gain here? For a better understanding of Apple Intelligence, I have a link to an Apple support document down in the description. You'll be surprised by the scope of all the features. Now, there are legitimate debates around AI and privacy. One reason I'm comfortable recommending Apple's implementation is that much of it runs directly on your devices. And when it needs outside help, Apple is pretty transparent about that. Remember, by default, Apple Intelligence asks you before it contacts ChatGPT for assistance with a response. So, yes, Apple Intelligence uses an amount of storage some people might find surprising. And I wish Apple gave us more control over those downloaded AI models, but after understanding what it actually does and comparing its storage against other apps on my devices, I don't think it's worth losing a lot of sleep over. What's your take on Apple Intelligence? Share it with us down in the comments. And until next time, have fun, stay safe, and keep learning.